Amid the India and Canada diplomatic war, senior Congress leader Amrinder Singh Waring has in fact come out in support of Canada-based Punjabi singer Shubneet Singh, popularly known as Shub. Now, the Congress leader has denounced the labeling of Shub as anti-national. In fact, he stressed that such allegations are malicious attempt to tarnish the singer's image and should be repulsed. The Canada-based Punjabi singer Shubneet Singh broke his silence on his cancelled India tour and said that he expresses his dismay and that he is extremely disheartened by the tour's cancellation and that he was looking forward to performing in his home country, India. Meanwhile, Canada police has confirmed that the death of wanted terrorist Sukhdul in Canada, in fact, the Khalistani terrorist was killed in Winnipeg in an inter-gang rivalry, and the Canada police has told that the gangster's family has been informed and that the investigation is underway. To discuss more on this and, of course, get us more details on what exactly is going on between India and Canada, joining us right now for this discussion on the broadcast is former Ambassador Veena Sikri. First of all, Ms. Sikri, thanks a lot for taking out your time for this discussion and, of course, a lot of focus on this, not just in India, but in other countries as well. Now, we're talking about ties between India and Canada that have been torn apart, and all of this is due to one man's antics. Justin Trudeau might go around giving lectures on human rights and freedom of expression, but the fact of the matter is that his government is on a ventilator and the plug is in the hands of a Khalistani leader. His government is increasingly under the scrutiny for hiding foreign interference, especially when it comes to China. And all of these developments are happening in Canada. So if you look close enough, this isn't really an immature statement by Trudeau or a preemptive action. In fact, it seems to be a well-planned campaign to divert attention from the local politics and keep himself relevant.
Well, certainly from his point of view, we would have thought that he will divert attention and he will be able to put India in the dock and the pressure will be off him. And the pressure will also be off China because right at this very moment, he's under pressure to start this investigation against China's interference in the elections of Canada, interference in the internal affairs of Canada, setting up police stations in Canada, totally illegal, setting up listening posts along the border with America. All these allegations are there and he's in the midst of finalizing a second inquiry, the first chairperson having resigned and left, and then this happens. Now, if those were his intentions, whatever his intentions may be, it seems very clear that this has backfired spectacularly on Justin Trudeau because the first demand that is coming to him from within the country, from India and from all over the world is where is the proof? Where is the evidence? He started off by saying on Monday afternoon that there is credible allegations of potential links. I mean, credible allegations. Nobody's heard of this before. Credible evidence, yes, but credible allegations, it is so vague and uncertain. It's really being made a mockery within his own country. And the leader of the Canadian opposition has said that, I can't say anything on what the Prime Minister said because I have no real evidence. I don't know why he's saying it. We have no evidence. So we have certainly repeated this to our friends, to other countries, and explained to them that this kind of an allegation is completely absurd and motivated. And in fact, when we put out the advisory advising Indian citizens not to go to Canada and to be very careful, the ones who are already there, we use the word because of politically condoned hate crimes and violence. Now, this is the point. The Indian community is facing very serious problems. And we know that, yes, the Hindu community has faced a direct threat from one Mr. Panu living in the US, who was the lawyer for Mr. Nijjar.
Absolutely. Now, this is exactly the point that I was getting to. Now, Trudeau has decided to throw India and Canada's relation under the bus for whatever reasons. Now, the reasons are debatable. We could go on and on about it, but it is very important to also talk about the large Indian diaspora in Canada. I mean, over 15 lakh people. Now, Canada has one of the biggest Indian diasporas in the world. And with Trudeau's track record of prioritizing politics over safety of citizens, prioritizing so-called freedom of expression over what needs to be done to ensure law and order stays in place. Now, the safety of Indian citizens is a major and a serious concern at this point in time.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we are very concerned about the Indian diaspora in Canada, which is not only one of the biggest, but also one of the very, very stable, very prosperous, well-educated, and well-integrated diaspora.
Yes.
Now, it is the member of parliament from Justin Trudeau's own party, Chandra Arya, who has made a very strong statement, actually, directly criticizing his own government, saying that, you can't have these kind of hate statements come out against the Hindu community in Canada, because Mr. Pannu, as I was saying, has asked the Hindu community to leave by a certain date. And now the minister has come out and given some assurances. But certainly, with the kind of threats and allegations being made by the Khalistani community, the pro-Khalistani community in Canada, it's a matter of great worry. Mr. Chandra Arya, the member of parliament, has clearly said that the Hindu and Sikh community are living close by to each other in great friendship and harmony, and they're intermarried, they're very, very involved in each other's welfare. It may be a very small minority who is a pro-Khalistani group. Why is Prime Minister Justin Trudeau so beholden to this small minority? Obviously for votes, because without the support of the NDF, led by a pro-Khalistani person, his government would collapse. So he is trying to shore up his government, but as I said, it's backfired, and he's losing support even more because people are saying, how can you make such allegations? So many members of think tanks in Canada, intellectuals, opinion makers are saying, why is Prime Minister Trudeau doing this at this time? Because it's not helping at all. Yesterday, now, when he gave this press conference that you just relayed, that was given in New York, I think in the Canadian
Yes.
mission in New York,
Yes.
he changed the word credible allegations to credible reasons. Now, I mean, what are these reasons? Just yesterday, our spokesman of the Ministry of External Affairs, Arindam Bagchi, he said that we have not received a shred of evidence about this allegation, this absolutely absurd and motivated allegation that
Exactly.
has
Now,
been made by
besides this
Prime Minister
wordplay,
Trudeau.
you very rightly pointed out how Justin Trudeau has shifted from the using the word allegations to claims. And of course, these wordplays are underway. And also, we are seeing how Justin Trudeau is going around trying to garner support of the Western world against this so-called credible allegation that he has no proof of. And of course, everyone is asking him for the proof, which he does not have at this point in time. So how seriously do you think other countries are taking Canada's allegations as of now? Because yes, this is a serious allegation and needs to be spoken about, talked about, but at the end of the day, there is a lot of local politics involved that has the potential to in fact dictate and potentially having triggered this particular crisis that has now ended souring the relation between India and Canada.
No, actually, other countries are staying completely hands off. We did see that the National Security Advisor of USA has made a statement that serious concern, because, of course, when you make such an allegation like this, it is a matter of serious concern, because it can ruin the relationship. It has ruined the relationship between India and Canada, and it can also affect, Canada is the closest neighbor of America, of the USA, and America, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand are in this Five Eyes intelligence sharing agreement. And so obviously in response to what Canada had been saying about critical allegations, there were some reports yesterday hinting that no, there is something in the intelligence sharing, somebody else may have told, all very, very generalized and vague, no shred of evidence. And all the countries that Prime Minister Trudeau was trying to lobby in the US, he was in New York yesterday for the UNGA, none of them seem to have given him any joy, because it is clear even in the readout of the discussion that things
Absolutely.
like Chile and Germany, European Union, Kenya, and others, Italy, and each of them, the readout didn't mention a word about it. So there was no expression either from the readout or from the countries back home, from their foreign offices on this question. Everybody is hands off. Everybody is saying that, look, you've got to show some evidence and please solve it in discussions with India. And India is saying, show us the evidence. You're prepared to discuss whatever
Now
you want to discuss.
that
But in the
is the key
meanwhile,
takeaway. Every single nation wants this issue to be resolved, and of course, doesn't seem like Justin Trudeau really wants to sort it out, because if he really had to, he would have discussed it with India before actually coming out in public and making a statement like this. But regardless of what his intentions are, the fact of the matter is that he has thrown the India and Canadian relation under the bus. And now it is very interesting to see how he backs this up with evidence, because at this point in time, doesn't look like Trudeau or any of his so-called credible agencies have any sort of evidence when it comes to these allegations that they have leveled against India. Thanks a lot, Ms. Sikri, for joining us with all of those inputs. Really appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. Now, shifting our focus to the other